Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the quick update from the Donetsk Front, and particularly a very under-reported or under-concentrated or focused part of the Donetsk Front, which is actually the western side and the southwestern side of the Donetsk Front. So this is the Donetsk city. This is Donetsk city, the biggest city in Donetsk region and also their capital, and the Ukrainian lines is actually really close. It's just outside. Previously, it was even nearer. It was here, and it got pushed back by the Russian forces all the way to here, and from the south, the Russian forces managed to push all the way to this line, and they got stuck here ever since for months, like really long time. Because this area there is actually not many defenses. The defenses was actually around here, and the Russians are previously tried to push upwards, and they were very confident. They even put out where are exactly all the Ukrainian positions all along here. They put it here, put plan everything on the map in their report. And ever since that report, they got entirely stuck. The Ukrainians put up an extremely strong defense along this line, and ever since the Russians are just stuck there. And today the front line is still at Marinka, and the Russians are still pushing at Marinka. The Russians are trying to push this direction to capture the rest of Marinka. The Ukrainians are still holding Marinka in this position. It's not much of the city left. However, the Russians also took advantage of this progress, and they were attacking Pobjeda, and they have been attacking Novomykhailivka. And the problem with this entire line, why is it so difficult, is that the Ukrainians actually have extremely a lot of defenses. Let me draw out a bit to show you how ridiculous it is. So there is another line here, and then there is actually another defense line here, and then there's another defense line here, and there's a massive pre-war defense line, which is like many layers in depth, just across Novomykhailivka, and they have a regional HQ around Kharkov. I think they also have a Karenivka, at Vodiansk. There's a stronghold at Pobjeda. They're at Polivka, and then at Novomykhailivka this way. Basically every single location that you can think of, they actually have a defense line, and they're actually also holding back any potential lines. And this is basically what it looks like. Essentially it's just lines and lines and lines of defenses that just goes on forever, and there's more here, which I do not bother to draw. And as you can see, the Russian forces have been holding their own line over at Volodymyrivka, after they managed to capture this location at Stepney, and perhaps even at Sloke, perhaps, and at Slavne, which is here, and at Mykilske or Mykilske, and at Yehorivka around here, Shevchenko, Novomykhailivka, Vyshetivka, and Novodonetsk. And this is how it looks like. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The number of lines they are holding, and we are not even talking about this part where it's the Pisky region, which I already covered in a separate video, separate quick updates. You can go and check it out. I'll put it in the link in the description below. So the latest information is that the Ukrainians are actually trying to push out, and they are pushing out towards Slavne, and there is this counter-offensive trying to push out of Novomykhailivka, while the Russians are trying to push in. And there is also fighting reported here at Mykilske, where the Ukrainians are trying to push this way. And however, as you can see, you know, the kind of defense line, the kind of situation around here is basically impossible to go anywhere. You know, the entire front line here is just stuck. So even though I can draw these arrows, I can say, you know, I can draw, oh, this is the aim, and I can draw like that, you know, it's pointless because they're going to get stuck here forever. It's unlikely that they will be able to, you know, break through until there is a possibility where the Russian forces is able to strike from the rear this way, or, you know, where there's a breakthrough over at the Pisky region, although it's also very unlikely even if they can push this way, because as you can see, you know, there's entrenchment, there's pre-war, and there's already, you know, defense line around here. They can't even capture Nevsky around here. It's just nonsensical. You know? It's just impossible to, you know, for the Russians to even, you know, do a rear action. You know, yeah, you can't even poke them from behind. So this is not possible. Yeah, this is just not possible. It's not doable. Tentatively, the war here is pretty much stuck, and all these skirmishes that we are seeing here, you know, or here, is just a standard skirmish. They try to push, you know, capture a little bit of ground. Positional warfare, as what they say, is unlikely to yield much results, because the Russian forces definitely also have a second line of defense, you know, around here, and probably even a third line of defense, because these are all very important lines, because the capital city is only here. So this is the situation here over at the western and southwestern part of Donetsk. This is just a quick update, you know, and also, you know, a quick analysis of the situation on the ground. And the way how I draw this, you can see how ridiculous it is. It's basically impossible to move forward. If I go to scroll in further, you'll be able to see that, you know, there is a lot of lines according to the tree lines, and every of these tree lines are basically, you know, for example, maybe, you know, this line is Russian controlled, maybe this line is Russian controlled, but the Ukrainians are holding, you know, this line and this line, and maybe the Russians hold the line here, and then the Ukrainians are holding like this line here. Like it is the kind of situation over here where every single tree line is basically an objective to capture, and you can see how ridiculous this goes. You know, my understanding is that, you know, sometimes the Russians can hold this entire line and maybe this line like this, and then the Ukrainians are holding just the other line like this. You know, then maybe the Russians are holding, you know, this line, like. And then how are you going to fight in this kind of situation where whoops, and where everything is just, you know, messed up like in this kind of way? So this is the situation on the ground. So, you know, hopefully this interesting to you, and yeah, which is why this is a very underreported line, front line, because it's pretty crazy and pretty pointless, because of the fight here is pretty much a stalemate. And so, you know, even if you have the TOS1 flamethrowers, you can't really burn out the entire area here. This is a massive region. So even you can burn out one defense line, you go in, yeah, congratulations, you have just captured 50 meters. Then that's it. You are still talking about like hundreds of kilometers here. So anyway, this is just a quick update from the Donetsk front, and hopefully this is fun for you, and I'll see you in the next update.